me. Generals gathered in their masses. Get out of the way.
Ah, take a deep breath, everyone. Hi. Welcome to Office Hours with Amber. I'm Amber, and this is Office Hours. We're on season 1.5, basically 2, kind of in the middle, engineering improv, but it's being worked on, and that is why we're starting early today. I'm going to make sure the audio's good, and then we're going to be off to the races. Audio's fine. God bless. Yeah, so you might be wondering, Amber, you've posted on all your social media that this would start at 7 p.m. Eastern, and it's 6 p.m. Eastern. Do you know how to tell time? Well, the quick answer to that is no. The long answer to that is I have been so deeply just messed with the last 7 days that I'm like, I'm going to give myself an extra hour this week to just do what I need to do, because every week I leave engineering improv and I'm like, okay, this week I need to focus on this so that I can come next week prepared with all this other stuff. Didn't have it in me this week. So I'm going to spend the first 10 minutes just venting my shit, and then we will be back off to the races. So for those of you that pretty much likely nobody knows where I live, but I've been making it very public information on TikTok, because on Thursday evening I was minding my business working from home, and I got a condemn notice on my apartment door. And then I look around at all the other apartments, and every single one of the 300 units in my complex all had condemn notices. What? So that's the first time that's ever happened to me. For show. Oh, Eric, thank you for being here for this. So essentially, let me see if I can find I can definitely find the YouTube video, but let me let Google Wildwood off Main. If you want to do any sleuthing on TikTok or YouTube news, you'll find all sorts, but I'm gonna go ahead and show my screen. Yeah, so my apartment complex condemned, and I'm trying to find, let's just watch one of the videos.
I can dance and make a concrete at the same time.
Okay. We're gonna let it give the spark notes.
Then have it inspected underneath.
Severely deteriorated, corroded, unstable. Those are just a few of the words used by Kalamazoo building inspectors to describe the conditions of the decks, stairs, and guardrails at every apartment unit within Wildwood's complex. Thanks for joining us on News Channel 3 live at 11. Our team first showed you an email tonight at 6 that was sent to Wildwood residents this evening. It contains a statement from the Wildwood apartment complex owners that some residents say is contradictory to other messages they've received. They say there are many questions after every apartment unit in that area was condemned earlier this week. News Channel 3's Abigail Taylor is joining us live in studio after working on getting some more answers tonight. And Abigail, the information coming in from officials is limited.
Yeah, Andy, and we're continuing to reach out to the Kalamazoo
Limited is a fucking understatement.
Area Building Authority and Township Fire Marshal, trying to get updates on this situation. The latest right now, though, being that letter shared with us by residents where the owners are claiming they did not know the extent of these issues until these tags were posted on all 292 front doors in the complex.
Look at this new video just sent to us from another Wildwood resident.
There's no bracket there. There's no bracket there. Everything is completely rusted.
At Wildwood off Main, ever since these showed up on everyone's door from the Kalamazoo Area Building Authority Thursday afternoon, Wildwood residents have been telling us their concerns and showing us.
If you're not careful, the steps literally fall off.
Sending videos of deteriorating decks.
Shaking. I would not lean on that.
And patch jobs.
They've patched like at different points. You can see those boards are new.
One resident showing us the patchwork done to his deck after the horror story he says happened here.
I was leaning against the balcony railing, and as I was giving myself a little boost to get off, the side of the railing started cracking, I guess, and I fell with the railing. The whole railing and myself fell. So, yeah, when I came back to, I called 911, and the EMTs came and got me.
Residents claim they were speaking up to the office about their concerns, eventually reporting it to building officials. Their stories lining up with what's described in
I'm going to let the whole video play so it kind of gets over the overarching.
inspection documents FOIA'd by our team, including holes, floor soft spots, and animal infestations.
Slowly, this place has been going downhill. We have animals that come in the walls of the apartments.
Our team's been making several attempts to get response. Is it safe to sleep here tonight?
But they said no comment at this time.
So many people who live here say that there's been a lack of communication. So I'm going to go inside and see potentially if we can get some answers for them. The leasing manager answered each one with no comment.
We've gotten no response from the out-of-state property owner, New Earth Residential, and residents say they're still in the dark about whether it is allowed or safe to stay here.
The management is sending us vague emails, and they are telling us that we can stay in our condemned apartments. I think it's the housing authority that makes the decision whether we can live in a condemned apartment.
An email sent to residents shared with our team says, quote, the township has made it clear to Wildwood that it is not seeking a court order that would require residents to vacate their units. But this note from the township says, quote, all occupancy is strictly prohibited.
And in that letter sent to residents by those owners, they also said, quote, the township only inspected a sampling of the units, despite these tags being posted on every single front door. The owners say they plan to dispute it. And of course, we're going to continue trying to get answers, including reaching out to officials and bring.
So that is the most, pretty much Thursday, by the end of the day, we got an email from the management, the leasing office saying, hey, we're just as shocked as you are. And first of all, fucking excuse me? After, thankfully, the best thing that's come out of this entire situation is that the community has come together and made a WhatsApp group so we can all talk about our neglected work orders, all of the complaints specifically relevant to the balconies and the front porches and the steps. Which is shocking. So I personally have had a great time. I love living here. This is my favorite apartment. You guys have seen all the work I've done to, make this a space I love. And I had no intentions of leaving, but it's a little tough when the whole thing's condemned and your leasing office is lying straight up to your face. So, yeah, that's the spark notes of what's happened. But the tea inside the tea, the tea inside the tea is that the condemnment notice says that we are prohibited to be living here, but they didn't put in evacuation orders because obviously displacing 425 people is insane. And they're telling us to heed caution, and that's where it's gray because of course, if we were all told to evacuate, then it's like if they were to if the leasing office, if this place was to dispute and win that the condemnment was falsified or something, the township, and I'm being specific, the Kalamazoo Township, not city, would be on the hook for all the money for all of the people in hotels, all of the people displaced, all of the moving, whatever. So of course, they're operating in this gray area where they're like, no, it's really, it's not that bad. Now, to be honest, my specific stairs, and that's where I was confused at the beginning before we started getting lied in our face. I was confused at the beginning because my steps really aren't that bad. And in comparison to everyone else's, I have no stairs falling off. I'm not falling through my deck. I felt like it's not that big of a deal for me. But after their sample size, after talking to the neighbors, there is some insanely outdated, neglected things going on. And so the nice thing is as we've all come together, we've all talked about our experience. We're working on finding legal representation. We're all helping each other find other apartments. And for those that are staying, we're trying to help them. Basically, we're just short of going door to door, trying to gather everyone in this WhatsApp group our Facebook group, and the email list. So if you or someone you know lives in the Wildwood off Main apartments, feel free to let them contact me and I will get them added to the resources, because even the emails, and so this is the crazier part. So Friday, we thought, Friday, they're going to come back and, give us some better news or, tell us what the scoop is, but then they were basically saying, people were reaching out and being like, because here's the thing, condemnment nullifies lease agreements unless there is a specific clause inside of the lease agreement. You cannot rent a condemned apartment. And so they are straight up lying in our faces. And in like some of the emails individually, yeah, Eric, I will cancel my rave deck party. Meanwhile, Banjo and I have been doing our TikTok series from back there, because I told the people of Instagram also, I was like, the seasonal depression is going to get me before the deck falls off. So anyways, I'm going to try to land this plane. But anyways, it's just, what's crazy is I wanted to be on like the apartment's side on this, because my deck really wasn't that bad and I don't think it really needed to be condemned. But as they've sent emails that are so contradictory to their own points, then you're like, wait a minute, why are you lying? Why are you doubling back? And the problem is the local management is just doing what the higher management that's in Colorado is telling them to do. And they're doing whatever the people in California that own the buildings is telling them to do. So in totality, some fuck shit's going on. And so, yeah, speaking of which, court cases and moving fees and all of that is very expensive, and it's probably going to take quite a while to see any kind of financial relief on that, especially because the people in the community are showing their emails showing that they will reach out and say, hey, I want to terminate my lease, and then can I get, because this all started on May 7th, so we paid a full month's rent on the 1st. 7 days in, we're condemned. So we should be getting kind of a return. Like, why are we paying for a full month of rent when we're not even legally allowed to be in our houses? And so people are reaching out like, hey, could we get like our deposit back? Or could we get like our month, like the part of the month that's not used, like the part, like I don't know what the real word is. I don't really care. Can we get the part of the month rent back that we're not going to be able to use? And they're saying that they're not doing any prorating or returning of deposits outside of normal process. And it's like, and then they also said, one moment, they also said some other shit in the same email of saying you have by May 15th to put in writing if you are going to be terminating your lease, but they only sent it to individuals. They didn't send it to the whole community. So they're putting arbitrary deadlines out there and also requiring them to sign a recession notice that has not even been sent out yet to be reviewed by any legal party ever. And so there's so much like fear tactic lawyer bullshit going on, and it's like, whoa. Like, even if you get all of the decks fixed in 30 days, you already showed us that you're full of fuck shit, and there's so much stuff coming out about all the stuff that's been ignored. So I don't know. Because I know I'm going to land on my feet, that's where I'm using my TikTok and this live stream and all of my social media to yell loud and proud, there's fuck shit going on. If you live in the apartment complex or you know someone who lives in the apartment complex, feel free to let me know so I can get you in the Facebook, WhatsApp, and email list, because without those, I would have no idea how truly fucked things are. Anyways, there's a good amount of people that don't have the financial means to just get up and go to a new apartment without receiving their deposits back. And so it is wackadoo time. But the funny thing is, the thumbnail of this video is give yourself an hour, and I'm giving myself 2 hours, because what I found is the ADHD wants to attach on to the scariest, most adrenaline heavy, most dopamine, like something like the big shiny whatever. And I wasted 3 days of my weekend, informing myself for 3 days. But here's the thing. I can catch up on the messages at the end of the day, but I have real business to do now. Thanks, Mom. They are messed up, and that is the worst. But to wrap this in a bow, I think it was and I joked about this on Friday. I put on my vision board last week that I wanted to live in a place with a waterfront view. And I toured a new apartment last week, and it has a view of a lake. It might not be exactly what I was imagining, but it was fitting for what I asked the universe for. And so I was talking with my mom. She is OG. Also, happy late Mother's Day to all the moms. The universe is plucking me out of the safety and comfort of where I am and trying to put me somewhere new. This is supposed to shake up something for me, whether it's getting me activated to do something. I'm choosing to follow the path that the universe has laid for me. I will say I've gotten from earlier engineering improv episodes that we did, I did want to get more quicker about being able to shoot, edit, and post videos. And I've been able to post a daily video, daily videos that I'm kind of proud of for the last 5 days on TikTok. So if anything, engineering improv is actually providing results that I was not anticipating. Sometimes you just got to let it work, but I'm excited about that, which is scratching a part of my brain that's helpful. And the nice thing is it's kind of completely inside of my purpose. Is really at my core, I want to help more people do more and do more with less or whatever. And so by me connecting and using my TikTok platform, said very cutely, by yelling about things on TikTok, I've been able to gather at least 30 people from TikTok and gather them to put them in the WhatsApp so that they are more informed about their living situation, which I feel really proud of. So I think although this is a shit situation, the universe, God, my life experience has given me the sense of humility and calm where I can just see how I can be helpful in this situation, which is using my mouth, which is being loud and talking my shit. Because what are they going to do? Kick me out? The city already, the township is already evicting us. Anyways, I think there is some fun things for the future, and pressure makes diamonds, man. So we'll be fine. Honestly, we'll be fine. But ways that you can support me specifically is if you have any friends or family that's ever said, I wish there was a better way to do blank. I think there's got to be a better way to do blank. I think I just said that twice. This Excel sheet, it's just kind of clunky. This process is clunky. My files are all over the place. I can't find my files. If any of those are similar statements that you've heard from friends or family or businesses or coworkers or other business owners, you just connect me with them. That is the most beneficial thing you can do for me at this moment. I am building out a data janitorial service, which I'm really excited about. Kind of I kind of want to call it something like the data fairy or the file fairy. Ooh, file fairy. Yeah. Basically, what I want to do is as businesses grow, a lot of them don't anticipate having teams of 5, 10, 20 people. So you start with all of your work files in one place, and then you make a finance folder, and then you make a team folder, and then you're all of the downloads and different stuff ends up in this kind of jumbled up pile. And then as you scale, it's hard to tell people oh, actually, could you put your hours in this one file that lives in a weird, dark, cavernous area of my file structure? Not cool. Lose file, make new file, repeat process, inefficient. Amber Help, Data Fairy, File Fairy. I come in, I help reorganize. And the other thing about businesses is oftentimes when you have files, you're apprehensive to move them, especially if you've hyperlinked other files inside of them. But guess who knows how to fix files and hyperlink and reconnect data structure? Me. So that is a cute new service that I'm thinking of providing. And it got me thinking of you get your car detailed, or you go through the car wash, or you get your dog groomed. It's kind of these services of sometimes it's nice for someone to just come in, clean up the things you wouldn't even think to, and kind of put some best practices in place. So that is what I am here to do, and one of the things that I care about. What else is on my mind? But yes, you don't really need to know exactly what I do to be able to suggest me to a friend, because I love hearing about people's stories and their struggles and their pain points, regardless of if I can help them specifically or not. Usually I could point them in a direction of something that could be helpful. So realistically, if there's big, small, left, right, up, down kind of project, feel free to connect me with them. I would love to give them a chit chat, and then you can send them some of my YouTube videos. Maybe not this one, but like maybe one of the other YouTube videos, just to give them a little essence of who I am. But that being said, today my focus is I'm going to just work on whatever my brain starts to think about. I want to continue the exercise we were doing last week with assessing all of the different subcategories of my business that I would love to spend month focuses on. And there's the two halves of my brain. The first half wants to just dive in and just start doing things, which I think is great because there's oftentimes not that part of my brain that activates. The other part of my brain knows I want to create a sustainable, repeatable learning structure, much like last year. So that's where I want to create a firm, how do I pick what topics I do each month? What do I do each week? Like, I think I need to build out the structure, but I feel like I've been building out the structure for 5 months. And that's where I'm like, I think it's my perfectionism that's just like preventing me from going forward. And it's like, Amber, just do it. So also I have to remind everyone that, oh, I didn't ask for Word to be open, but hello. Need to remind everyone that 2 of the naughtiest words, and you feel free to call me out when I use these words, is just and should. Those are naughty words. We don't just and we don't should on ourselves, because they're always rooted in shame somehow. It is called improve, my girl. You know, Mom, you're right. When you're right, you're right. I will say I did do quite a bit of administrative cleanup. I have a to-do list with understandably small items this week. Basically, my goals this week is I want to plan out my monthly goals. Hilarious. This week on Office Hours with Amber, if I didn't want to spin the wheel, I was going to apply creating the statement of work and intro packet, which might be nice. Creatively, she's got projects. I need to create the intro form, and I'm still doing the Artist Way program, so I'm catching up on those tasks. Not catching up, rather. I want to finish the tasks from the week prior and listen to the new week. I think on the AmJamber account, I'm going to do a click around and find out of X-Tiles later this week because they just installed a bunch of new features. They streamlined the planner section, and it looks so sharp and good. It syncs to your calendar, as well as you can have tasks that then you can drop onto your calendar that syncs both ways between Outlook. Chef's kiss. But yes, and then for Good Trade Depot, I'm working on a pitch deck that I want to finish like yesterday, but today's a new day. And then we have a performance review this week. So I'm excited about that because everyone's got projects and KPIs and a lot more data to work with. And so it's kind of in the messy middle, but I'm excited to keep building that out. So I've got quite the day ahead of me. For She's Got Projects, if you are a woman, if you are a lady who works behind a computer and is multi-passionate, wants to learn new skills, but also get some creative accountability, interact with a bunch of other women that are doing what She's Got Projects is a digital women's makerspace where we come together, learn new things, teach others. It's like a matriarchal skill share place. And I've never been good at community building, but I really do love what I am building there. And after this call, there's going to be an intro session, so new members get to know each other. There's also daytime meetings. There's also nighttime meetings. We're figuring it out. But for today, I wanted to start early because I've already wasted a half hour with just talking about apartments and my week and all that stuff. So now I have a full hour and a half to just get something done, which I really love. Because truly, when life crisis comes your way, it is so easy to just let it completely consume your thoughts and keep you incredibly stuck. And so, truthfully, for the last 3 days, I've just been staring at my computer like, what am I going to do? We've made a plan. We already contacted some movers. We've already contacted some new apartments. We're going to be fine. However, we do financially need to get some more projects under the belt because holy moly, life is expensive right now. So I digress. Okay, we're going to take the deepest of breaths. What I want to do today is you know what? I know what I want to do. I don't know if I think I showed you guys last week a video about I showed you guys a video about 15 systems that helped this woman stay organized. And I want to do a quick checklist of which of those systems that I have in place versus which ones I don't. And so maybe I'll do that during Click Around and find out. I think I'm going to do that. I think today I just need a just counter, like a little button to count how many times I say that word. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. So to recap, basically last week we aligned on my purpose is to empower, enlighten, and entertain the year-ago Ambers, basically helping those who are me from a year ago, or even just documenting what I've been learning. But really my goal is, this is my purpose, but the goal is profitable business with ease. That meaning financially, energetically, ethically, and emotionally profitable. I don't think I'm even speaking English at this point, so we're just going to do our best, guys. Stop, you're too good to me. Business, scalable, repeatable, system, independent of ego and self. Ease, less than 40 hours a week of work, haha. By the end of the year, I would love that to happen. Sought out for clarity versus our effort. Things, how far are we away from that happening? And these are the subsections that I think could use some serious work to be able to empower that. So I think I'm going to start by filling out this section. Let's get some music, because I'm just going to be kind of mumbling at myself. And she is okay. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, Greta Van Fleet, I think, has a new album coming out soon. So stay tuned on that. They're from Frankenmuth, Michigan, if you didn't know. Okay, let's see. I wonder. Okay, I have to show you this. There is a creator named called Me Time, and I don't know if they're made with AI. I don't really know anything about it, but I think it's real. But they've got a bunch of cute music, but they made one jazz, but it's shrimp. Too good. Let's see. At this level, can you hear it? Let me know. But yes, I've been listening to this nonstop. I did email them and say, hey, how do I properly credit you for your songs on my live stream? Because I want to use them, because it is exactly what I want. Like, it is exactly the essence of Office Hours with Amber, is Shrimpany. I don't know if you can hear it. Okay, I'm going to put it back at that. I'm going to check the audio on that, though. Because I'm about to fully zone out. Okay, I'm going to put it back. Okay, that's appropriate. That's appropriate. Okay. Now, for me to... Let's see. I kind of want to reference my backlog of good ideas. Because... and I'll show you what I'm doing after I do it, because... don't need it to have everything from everywhere. Filter, 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 filter. I wonder if I can export this. Uh-oh. Might as well show you what I've got going on. Basically, I want to export this list. Tough. Wonder what that does. Not quite. That's annoying. A problem for another day. I'm going to put that over here. There we are. I think I need to make these teeny tiny because okay, so my understanding of marketing versus sales. Sales is like an active deal generation and closing, whereas marketing is like brand awareness. Marketing builds brand awareness and attracts potential customers, while sales directly interacts with those leads and converts them to paying customers. Okay, so pull versus push. Okay. So I would say, so I'm going to kind of go through this. I should put this in Excel. My life is a prison. That's okay. That's good. Let me, oh God, we're stuck. Don't quit your day job, Toots. Yikes. We are going to categorize. We're going to type. I think it's good for the soul to type it all out. I have a file called EI napkins. There we go. It's where I keep all my napkin math. Oh man, everyone was talking about it, but I didn't know it was true. Oops. There's now the equivalent of Clippy. I wonder if it doesn't scale. Okay. There's now a Copilot button. I think, I'm going to be honest. If they would have made let's relax on that. If they would have made the Copilot button clippy, I think retention and use of it would have went up like 10x. But instead, they didn't do that. They had an easy layup. What do I know? What do I know? Okay. Let's take the categories that I already kind of vibed with. Let's see. Okay, I'm tweaking. This is like a, I would say a, this is a, why is it stuck again? I need to figure that out. This is a very indirect sticky note exercise. So essentially what I'm going to do is all the tasks that are on my PC Profitability backlog of good ideas, those are all going to be sticky notes essentially. And then you categorize those sticky notes into subcategories. And then based on the ones that have this highest number of assessed impact is the one that you go for first. So this is a poor man's sticky note exercise. So I know some categories that I'm thinking. So I'm just going to make those. I'm going to put them in the order that they probably should go. Okay, I at least have some pre-categories, and these might not all fit in those categories, which almost might be nice. Let's see. There we go. We don't need all that. Ew. No grid lines. Okay. So from here, let's fill up my space. I'm going to take these tasks that are over here, and I'm going to get them subcategorized in here somewhere. Oh, of course. Of course. Oh, cute. Okay. I'm gonna just leave these as full until I care later. Clarity gate. Oh my gosh. Clarity gate. Maybe that needs, maybe admin is like routine tasks and then like business is its own thing. Perhaps. Because like defining the right, like the ICP. Ideal client profile. It's like kind of a sales thing, but it's kind of just like a general business thing. I think to call it sales is like minimizes it. Flagship Clarity artifact you build this year. Translate concrete revenue and peace goal. That's a, I would say that's a bit, yeah, I think this is like, and it's silly to, this feels like a business and a sales goal. I'm going to call it a business goal. I'm going to call it business development. Okay, cool. This is good. This is good. Admin. Click around and find out on X-Tiles utilization. Translate routines into X-Tiles pages from that YouTube video. Oh, how rude of me. I am so sorry, guys. What are you guys up to this week? How was your weekend? What kind of stuff do you have going on this week? What are we aiming for? What are we excited about? Tell me everything. I think merch is more of a marketing thing. Copyright and trademark. I don't think I spelled that right. Copyright and trademark. Basic contract for PG. It almost, that stuff almost fits into the project management side, but I think it's more administrative. Intro, new customer packet, build. Better cost analysis, better cost analysis. Good, you should do as little as possible, Mom. And I'm glad that you liked the video. Kind of falls into both. Uh-oh. Okay, we're clear. We're clear. Any new emails I get, I am just understandably a little nervous. Alt 27. Okay, I'm not going to hyper meticulous it until the end. That is the point. Just get it down. Okay. Better cost analysis. Month end routine. Document mission, vision, values. Document. Oh. I used to do a presentation for one of the master's classes at Western Michigan University, where they would go to like different industries and do tours, but during COVID they needed virtual industries to go see. So we did a few interviews about Anheuser-Busch, but now they're back in person, so I don't have to do that anymore. But I really liked doing the yearly like kind of recap on all the projects I was doing. Map out sales process. Document lead generator. Templates on Etsy. Maybe that's a service. P&L, 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 P&L. Blog process, marketing. Because I want to be able to like homogenize my ideas at the end of each of these episodes. I want to be able to homogenize all the ADHD learnings that I'm having. Like I don't think I'm like a bad writer, but I don't think I'm like super duper articulate really in any way, and most of my personality comes out on camera, the little bits of it that does. And so it's like I like the idea of a blog because then people don't have to watch the video to like sift out the parts they like, but I don't think I'm a bad writer. I think I'd like a blog if I put pictures with it, which you can do. Okay, set up X tiles. That's a duplicate. Embed that on the website. I need the process of embedding. Automate process of embedding videos on the website. I set it up, but they don't do it automatically. Website portfolio page. Which is kind of like project management. I'm going to put it in both. Because inside of my project management, I need to have like an end of process summary where I can post that eventually. Also, I got such a wonderful testimonial from my boy Caleb Northrup the other day. He said, Amber, you kind of make Excel fun. Honored. This is a duplicate. Document prospecting notebook. Cookbook. Document prospecting cookbook. What I like about the Sandler method on that, shout out to my boy Dan Kuber. If you need sales coaching, he's your guy. Basically, it's instead of like focusing on the output of instead of focusing on the output of I want to make $5,000 this month, you're not chasing money. You're doing you can control your behaviors. You can't control the outcomes of who's going to have money that month, whatever. But if you consistently go to this many networking events, give this many business cards, have this many follow-up meetings, you're increasing the likelihood of success. And so what I like about that is that there's clear, easy, like not easy, but there's clear numbers. So when I used to go to networking events, I would just stay the entire time and talk to anybody for hours and hours and hours. But when I realized that that's a little unsustainable because you end up getting 15 business cards and they all want to follow up the next week, and then you're doing coffee, and then you're so burnt out and you're like, I have so much work to do. You don't do it anymore. So now, right before I left for Australia, I was in a good habit of going to 2 events a month, giving 4 business cards out, having 2 follow-up meetings from each of those events, or aiming for that. And it was nice. You'd foster relationships that way. Easy peasy. But documenting the cookbook of ingredients that you're putting into your cake is the part. Pipeline visual assessment. Set up routine for fostering relationships in your sales pipeline. That is a sales task. Project contract negotiation boundaries build it. That's a statement of work template. I'm gonna add like a my girl Paula Gorman has a lot of great resources on having specific clauses like hour caps and scope creep and all of that. So the resources exist. Just gotta, how to describe. It's more of like in the statement of work template, it's going to go through the clauses and boundaries I'm talking about in that item. Value stream map of the sales process. I'm gonna honestly delete that one because, okay, excuse me. Beep. Oh, Banjo, why are we barking? Oh, you know what? I'm hungry. I wonder. I'm going to deliver Jimmy John's because I think they close before I get off all of my calls. Exhilarating time to be on a live stream with me. Actually, I can't show the screen because it has my address, but what is your favorite item from Jimmy John's? I think I've been really vibing with the Vito lately. Perhaps a wrap. No. I've been on a Jimmy John's kick. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm just going to make the quickest of it. Hungry stomach just makes horrible decisions. Soda. Diet Coke. Fountain. Almost done, guys, and then we're back on top. I realized that all I've eaten in the last 2 days is the pirouette sticks and pesto bow tie salad. You can get a large Kickin' Ranch? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Dang. Okay, I'm almost done. See, I didn't think about how hungry I'd be. Apple Pay on the phone through the computer? How impressive is that? Technology, I tell you. Okay. I'm going to set a timer for 20 minutes because I imagine it always is faster than I anticipate. Okay, 20 minutes until that timer goes off, and then I check to see if the Jimmy John's is here. Thanks, guys. It was a real day. Okay, we are locked back in. Uh-oh, there we go. Okay, value streams map of a sales process doesn't matter because value stream mapping, when you have like a very serious process in place, super helpful. All it's going to tell me is something I already know, that there's like kind of no process and that I need to make one. So not worth the effort. Intro video, that is a duplicate. 4 shorts. That is I would say we need to make that a create. Oh. That's more of a business development. Create. It's kind of actually, that's like a part of the prospecting cookbook. Create list of targets for marketing efforts. It feels kind of like a prospecting notebook, cookbook, but I think it's different enough. Pipeline, visual assessment, Oh, yeah. Project. Registry for business. I would say this kind of falls more under... It's more of like, and this is gonna sound weird, but like how to monetize, enable the live stream as a part of the business, which is like, it's kind of like service and offerings, but like more so I want to be able to like, I don't ever want like, I don't really like want specific sponsors. Like this episode is sponsored by blah. Like I never want a sponsor that makes me feel like I have to like watch what I say, because this is probably the most unfiltered part of my week, is just talking to a camera about it, whatever comes to my mind. And so that's where it's like, I want to create pathways to be financially supported through this, whether that be, and like, then I think about like, what would it, like there's certain criteria where you can become like a YouTube member or Patreon or something like that. But then it's like, then you have like kind of this expectation of, if people are spending $5 a month or something like that, they're expecting a certain level of content or a certain amount of content. It's like, oh, I've seen that be unsustainable. So then I'm like, well, what if there's a situation where it's like kind of like the buy me a coffee situation, or like a business registry. It's like, hey, do you want to buy like a new camera lens, or do you want to buy, like, you want to sponsor like, you know, a new mouse pad? You know what I mean? Like specific things that add to my business, not just like miscellaneous financials. But I'm like, hey, if you guys want to send me money, you feel free. But I don't know. I want to create a pathway to be supported in kind of not just projects, or, you know, but it's also so tacky and weird to be like, give me money. And it's like, there's really just no way around it. But I look at the content creators that I like watching, and I'll throw $5 at anything, where I'm like, yeah, keep going. Like it's kind of like supporting small artists. So it's like, calling me an artist is hilarious. But, ooh, we're about to get at 7. I'm so happy that I started an hour early, because I feel like I'm like, I needed like the warm-up period to get where I'm going. So technically, okay, so this is the hour mark. If you're just now tuning in to Office Hours with Amber, feel free to back it up to the very beginning of this video. I started an hour ago. I just had an itch that needed to be scratched today, so I got started a bit early. Maybe I should pause the music. I started a bit early today, but we're in the middle, halfway through, not even halfway. Basically, I'm doing a poor man sticky note exercise where I have my subcategories of my business, and I have a backlog of all my good ideas. And I want to see visually how many things I have in each category, so I know which month focus I should start with, which right now, marketing is in the lead, because I need more people to know that Peachy Profitability exists, and marketing is brand awareness. So, with that being said, back on subject. But, anyways, I think I was going somewhere with the thought. Oh yeah, a registry for the business would be kind of interesting though, because like, for instance, oh, and I don't have it over here. Dang. Oh, actually, Speaking of registry, one of the registry items that I put on my list for my birthday was this magnetic whiteboard. And then you can put your phone on there as well. And you can turn it around. And so I use this for my daily to-do list. I cleared it off on the off chance I was going to use it during this. But those are like little things that that's, $35 I didn't have to spend. And it was a way for a friend to support my business very actively. That and my friend Monica and Clarence got me a new keyboard so that when I'm working from the safety of my bed, I can be fully Stephen Hawkinged out in my bed. And I think that's something insensitive to say. So sorry, Mr. Hawking. Anyways, registry for the business. I would say looking into some sort of financial assistance, like looking into balance transfers or, this is a duplicate. I don't know, looking into ways to offset things for the time being, because right now my credit cards just roll over some credit, like interest accrued each month, and not fun. Anyways, perhaps a little less of that. Okay. Ooh, relevant trade shows. Practice sales, like pitching at those trade shows, which I love. I think I am really underutilizing the trade shows because it's such a warm network that's not just your local one, because a lot of times people at trade shows have money to go to them and then also are looking for certain things. Data randomizer, service. Data randomizer. Obfuscation. London video. I'm gonna put that as like a and same thing with like the Pomodoro. Oh my gosh, actually I have big news to tell you guys about the Pomodoro videos. So if you look at a Pomodoro time, I learned so many new things yesterday. So when you see Pomodoro timers, you see these tomatoes all over the time. Let me put this in. So you see tomatoes all the time and you're like, why? And that's because they have these little, like, basically pasta timers. And most of the time they're like 25 minutes or whatever. The Pomodoro technique is... yes, Matthew. I did a surprise extended stream today, but you haven't missed much. I'm still going to be going for another hour, so welcome. I'm just now, you already heard everything about the apartment drama. So if you want to rewatch that, the hour's behind us, but still another hour. But anyways, I learned that the Pomodoro, I kept seeing tomatoes everywhere and I was so confused. But apparently in Italy, the Italian word for tomato is pomodoro, apparently. Is that right? I don't know. I don't know if I trust AI on this one. But apparently they struggled with studies, concentrate, challenge himself to just a few minutes of uninterrupted focus. To track the time, he grabbed a mechanical tomato-shaped kitchen timer from his kitchen windowsill. He found that alternating short, intense bursts of work with rest, blah, 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 blah. So he had originally grabbed a kitchen timer that was in the shape of a tomato, and that's where the Pomodoro technique came from, which I think is so funny. Oh, big screen. Hell yeah. But yeah, so Pomodoro. I want to make my own Pomodoro videos that have, like, at the 30-minute mark, it has like funny transitions, but background music and intro music. And this is where it gets kind of into like creative tasks that don't directly apply to the business. So Background and intro music for live stream. Transitions, star swipes for live stream. We have a few repeaters. I never did the 2025. Kind of falls over there. That's fine. Oh. This also falls outside of the realm. Click around and find out. Intro video. On screen. Keyboard add in, which I think would be cool so you guys can see what shortcuts I'm using. Now the Taylor Swift intro I do think is related. I'm going to show you why in one moment. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So during the 2026 Winter Olympics, Taylor Swift introduced the Blades Angels, which was three ice skaters, and one of their names is Amber. So I think you know where I'm going with this, but I want to be able to edit it so it sounds like she's talking about me. Oh man.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Amber, Alyssa, and Isabeau.
You know what I'm saying?
3 American showgirls on ice who will capture your heart with their stories. Amber will be the first to tell you about how many battles she's fought and how the ones she's lost have meant as much as the wins. Her superpower now is embracing the fight.
You know what I'm saying? Taylor Swift talking about Amber. I've got audio right here. Also, Ashley, no, you're fine. I started an hour early because I had just too much on the mind. So afterwards, feel free to just rewind and watch the rest of it. But yeah, don't you worry about this. We're just I'll explain.
And daring the world to test her self-belief.
The nice thing is the audio, I'm going to try to pluck out her voice from it and from all 3 sections because she says like great things about all 3 women. Now, is that a little shady to take Taylor Swift's words about other women and use it for myself? Probably. Don't give a fuck.
As for Alyssa, she walked away from skating when she was 16.
Not applicable to me, but that's okay.
On her own terms. Joy fuels her now. Every jump, a celebration.
See?
Every performance, a testament to the beauty of knowing yourself.
Cry.
And then Isabeau. I mean, she's destiny personified. Her mom grew up in Milan.
We're watching the whole thing because it's too good.
Grandma lives exactly 13 minutes from the Olympic rink. When you can skate like you're meant to be out there, history has a funny way of showing up. Their teammates and...
it's too inspiring. It's gonna crack me. Anyways, for those of you just joining, the first 30 minutes of the live stream was me talking about my current condemned apartment. And I really encourage you to go back and watch that or watch my TikToks where I'm documenting the entire experience. So don't you worry, didn't miss much. But for today, I am doing a lazy man's sticky note exercise on all of the backlog items to prioritize the right first month, the most impactful first month of Officers of the Amber rebrand, the restructuring of Officers of the Amber, because the one with the most backlog of good ideas probably needs a little bit of love sooner rather than later. So that's what we're doing here. But TS intro video was that because I think it would be interesting to be able to show videos of things I do with Taylor Swift's video, like voice behind it. All I'm saying, pretty cool. Okay, SNOP forecasting demand tool. Demand forecasting tool. Website, add portfolio projects. That's a duplicate. Office hours with Amber file script system. Video script to film edit process and file keeping. Intro script and storyboard. That's repeat use. Oh yeah. So this is a little bit of a prospecting activity. You can like scrape the Michigan Treasury website for. Thank you, Mom. For business sizes and names. Because sometimes you just don't know where they're living. A3 format template. So if you're unaware, I love an A3. I think this is the easiest way to describe so many projects. So essentially, this is like IE in one page. This is a one-page IE problem. So essentially what it is, it's your problem statement, the background of the problem, what your target SMART goal is, which we talked about last week. Current state of that is target versus actuals in the gap. Again, this is looking a little familiar, guys. Analysis, key drivers, that's your 5 whys, and then sustainability plan. Some of them are better than others, but for instance, like this one, problem description. Which category is it mostly impacting? Quality, cost, delivery, moral. Oh, I like that they include that one. Waste and efficiency, health and safety, blah, blah. Customer satisfaction, goal, expected benefits. Fishbone, 5 whys, beautiful. Corrective actions, who's doing those things, implementation plan. Like, this is every project ever. So I want to be able to make my own that I want to be able to reuse. So that's project management, A3 template, Canva task management photo. That is more of a self thing. Canva task management photo. That's talking about the task types and levels of energy. Let's get back to shrimp time. Shrimpany. Plan year out. We're deleting that because that's big task. Video of, oh yeah. I think this would be a bit, it falls into marketing because it's a video. Video. The growth equation. Let's do this. There we go. Video growth equals value, accountability, novelty, capacity divided by fear, explainer, video, and file attach. Mini template of Kaizen event. For those of you hanging out, Ashley, Matt, Eric, Mom, what are you up to this week? Mom, you already answered with trying to do minimal amounts of things, which I encourage. Look up conference and trade show. That is duplicate. I wonder if my Jimmy John's is here. We're going to set another 10-minute timer. Let's track. I feel like Banjo would have barked if he was here, though. Oh, yeah, big news. At minute 50, we decided to order. Oh, he's here. One moment. Wonderful. Okay. Eating that promptly afterwards, but how to keep Banjo away. Okay, we're good. Straw. No straw. Okay. One crisis at a time, guys. Okay. What an exciting day. Anyways, while I get myself sorted, I haven't eaten all day. And that's on ADHD, brother. We've navigated our way out of the luteal phase, so my ability to perform has gone through the roof. God bless. Man, I didn't realize, I saw when he was walking away, he came on a bike. And that is a treacherous bike ride. So, the fact that my soda made it here safely, shout out. Shout out. Okay. Okay, we're close. Ugh. A true treat. Oh. There is Diet Coke everywhere. Okay. You sit there. We're fine. We're back at it. Okay, we're at the end of the list, so this is really good. MailChimp and Canva for mailings. Now I'm gonna put that more... I guess that is, email marketing is marketing. MailChimp plus Canva for email marketing. Reach out to Ramsey, that is make a routine process for reaching out to warm leads. New service offering, data janitor, diagramming, data visuals, Lucidchart. I'm gonna say look into Lucidchart. Okay, so we've got all our tasks in one place. So now what we can do, let's circle these up. I'm gonna put these off in like their own little world. Fun side projects. We'll call it creative projects. They are not going to count for this. So, let's wrap it up. Banjo is upset. Let's give you a little room to breathe. Training mentorship didn't even cross the threshold. Okay. So it's almost, you can visually kind of see where we need to focus first, but let's make some data to this. Good enough. So the other thing is, how many months would that be? 7 months. Good Good enough. Nice. Okay, so essentially what's happening here is she looks a little funky junky, but that's okay. So basically we have this data. Let's just, oh, it's so ugly and bad. That's okay. La 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 la. Realistically, I should probably look and see like, okay, does business development actually fit in other areas? And I split them out this way because I want them to have their individual focuses. So that's where I'm going to leave them the way they are. Because realistically, if we look at a marketing probably should be separated into 2 subcategories but we're going to find that out when we're in the marketing month, which will probably be next week. So, oh, wait, one moment. Okay. Come back in. There we go. Okay. What a week, guys. So, what we're going to do... Banjo, I know we're upset. Probably a cuter way to do this. Don't care. We're going to sort. What? I don't want you inside of that. There we go. Okay. This will make sense in a minute. Oh, I don't think I've done that correctly. I haven't. I was trying to do too much at the same time. There we are. Okay, so what we can see here is if I were to focus on just 4 of these areas, 72% of my business problems would be hypothetically solved. And you can and this is what they would call Pareto. Usually you can get 80% of consequences come from 20% of causes. And so if we really look at it, not all Paretos turn out that way, but really what it's coming down to is there's 50% of my business categories are leading to 80% of my problems. But even if I focus on just marketing, just that, 40% of the backlog of good ideas would be handled. So that is an easy way to identify. Oops. Easy way to identify what I should focus on first. So, speaking of which, Banjo, I know I have food. You can't see it, but there's a little dog sitting right here. Oops. There's a little dog sitting right here waiting for me to suddenly make that sandwich available to him. Oops. Anyways, so what I've identified is of all of my backlog of good ideas, marketing takes up a fair amount of it. Now, inside of these, so you could say, let's stop freezing panes. So if you look at close at these, so many of them are videos versus processes. And so that's where I want to take a closer look. Let's say this is the 14th week and this is prioritizing office hours with Amber. So if we take a peek, a little peek-sees into these items, we can look at the type. So I think what it might be is like 2 marketing months, maybe, because it might be like creating marketing and marketing procedure that I'm feeling here. So video, miserable. I want like a cute font. Cutie patootie. Nope. Let's hit him with a... No, we're gonna end up landing on something boring. Banjo, you are being so kind to not... Oh, it's all awful. Aptos display. Grid lines are dead to me. Just kidding. How do you spell asset? Yeah, that's how you spell it. Huh. Interesting. I'm gonna actually separate this out into the asset and the process. Banjo, I'm gonna need you to calm down. You're such a baby. Oh my goodness. And just a quick banjo break. I know you smell a sandwich, don't you? Tell the people what we got going on. I starve him. Oh, the horrors, the horrors. All right. Leave me alone. He's just jealous. It's tough being a dog. Okay. Lead generator is a sub-process of other things. This kind of falls into a prospecting. This falls into like the prospecting cookbook of like the clarity artifact. Well, actually, yeah. That's already created. Blog process gets bundled under MailChimp. These are videos. Oh my gosh, Ashley. Little hanky boy. Cute. Cute, 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 cute. Okay, okay, okay. These are all videos to be made, but this is the process of making videos. Same thing as okay, it's kind of becoming a process here. So we have all these videos. We want to automate the process of getting videos on the website. The website portfolio page is also a part of that. Goal. Testimonials is a subset of portfolio. Website, get testimonials. Website, portfolio page. Website, automate video process. From that, from the videos, that's going to help me with the blog process, because if I do the blog process, that's going to help me take what I do in the weekly Office Hours with Ambers and the weekly video creations, make a blog out of it that I can then email marketing with that. Then that leads them to a website with a portfolio, gets testimonials. That's where they interact with the Clarity Gate and the Artifact that are kind of in the same realm. And these are like processes and assets of, we need to make the process of how do I add these systemically to my, like when I'm working with a client, for instance, how does it fit into our contracts? Similarly, I know, Banjo, we're upset. I see you. Again. Sorry, Hank. Are we gonna be fine? I know he's blurry. It's tough being a dog. Uh-oh, I'm stuck. Deep breath, deep breath. Okay. Also, if you see what I'm doing and you think I'm full of shit, please tell me.
Don't quit your day job, Toots. Yikes.
Because I'm just kind of freeballing here. Okay. Okay. So what we're seeing here is there's videos, website, Clarity, gates and artifacts, merchandise, and this is like the beginnings of sales prospecting. So I think the things that matter here are the process of I think this is a key process, like end-to-end utilization of the thing I'm already doing. I feel like that's like 1 month. And then two months. I think this is kind of included. I think that's actually prospecting cookbook is at the top. That's actually 1 month versus 2 month versus 3 months. Mm-hmm. But realistically, the Peach Profitability intro video kind of acts as a clarity gate. I don't know if you can hear me breathing. Hopefully not. That is not different enough. I'm losing steam. Okay. So I think I'm going to put some carts before horses here. Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that is the right way to go about it. Let me check on something real quick. Okay, so if I do it in, so what we've established so far, marketing breakdown. So from my backlog of all the good ideas, we've identified that my biggest impact area would be marketing, to build brand awareness so that more people know what I do, who I am, what's going on. Because the sales process I don't think is actually that difficult. I think I just lack the volume of inbounds to be able to work through the rest of the process. And everything else kind of gets forced if there is enough marketing inbounds lead generation. So we're focused on marketing. But marketing is full of a bunch of different stuff. And so instead of machete through the forest, if we start with building our prospecting cookbook of what activities I want to do each month, and inside of those activities, video creation is one of the prospecting ideas that I think is going to warrant a good return. And so with cookbooks, your cookbook of prospecting activities, they are much like a chef. Each chef has their own recipe, their own little special sauce, literally, of what they include in their dishes. And so my sales dish, I don't want to be cold calling. I don't want a cold email. And even cold email is like, just being like the incessant churn. Like if I get one more LinkedIn message of, hey, do you want to start an MBA program? No, get away from me. I'd rather, and I know that's maybe not sustainable for the entirety of everything, but for this aspect of my business, I care about people and their stories and what they do. And so one thing that also chaps my ass is when someone says, oh, I noticed your profile and I love what you're doing. And then you probe them for like 1 inch of information. And I'm like, oh yeah, what part of my services do you like? Or what part of, don't say it if you aren't going to do it. You know what I mean? And so I hate when people have no observable, like they don't even have any evidence of ever watching your content or seeing your page. They just use that in their email. I know, Banjo. So I like being able to find people on LinkedIn or TikTok and being like, oh, that video is really cool. What do you do? And just being like genuinely curious. And maybe that's an inefficient path for sales management and marketing. Don't care. So my cookbook of prospecting ideas, answering Reddit questions, connecting and posting on LinkedIn, making YouTube videos. I think one of the prospects could be part of it is becoming like a subject matter expert on social media platforms. And so I've already been kind of doing that with Office Hours with Amber, but taking that to the next place, because nobody except for you guys, which I love so much, there's not a large variety of people who have money to spend on my services that watch this live stream. And so how do I make bite-sized pieces of my brain to get them excited and interested in working with me? Because I'm a delight. Who wouldn't want to work with me? But yes, I think we're onto something. So making the prospect cookbook, setting targets. So here's how many videos I want to make a month. Here's how many, we'll probably start with I want to make one YouTube video, one well-scripted filmed YouTube video a month, which I don't think is an insane request of myself. Then I can start designing my clarity gate of questions and thresholds in like a form people could fill out on my website, or the single flagship clarity artifact that helps people understand, oh, this is what it's kind of like to work with her. These are ideas for videos, but the process that I'm going to need to do inside of that month with that marketing effort of doing at least one video a month is I'm going to have to build out the process of how I script, film, and edit quickly. And how do I keep my files, which I've been learning a lot in DaVinci Resolve. So cool. And she's got projects. We have been, I've been using that to, my brain's going to go somewhere with that thought. I've been using it for creative accountability to learn all sorts of stuff. It's so cool. Then once I have a process of getting videos up on the YouTube, there's got to be an easy way to automate getting those on my website so that people can go to one place and get all of the Amber content. Additionally, how do you homogenize the key points of those videos and my live streams into a blog and then use that as email marketing to garner a warm list, if you will? Then, while all that's happening, I can then move into phase 3, which is, okay, and maybe phase 3 happens first before I start making all the email marketing. But I know me, and I think I'm going to feel more accountable to be like, oh, I'm gathering people who want to be on this newsletter and informed of the things I'm talking about. I want to give them new things to go look at on my website. And that's where I can then start filling out my portfolio page and be like, hey, here's this cool thing I just added, or getting testimonials. Then creating an incentivized testimonial track to be like, hey, you get an hour of free coaching if you submit a testimonial or like a testimonial video or something. I don't know. But seeing it in order like this feels a lot more digestible than just saying, like, this is what I was looking at. This is what I've been looking at. You know what I mean? And it's a much bigger list than this. There's other subsections, but looking at that versus having this kind of like ordered list, so much better. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Man, we have 15 more minutes. I'm getting a little sleepy tired, but I had something else to say. I'm glad I've made this progress. I've at least documented my entire backlog of good ideas, prioritized them using industrial engineering techniques for the Pareto sticky note exercise. I'm not going to dive too far into the 5 whys of why I think all of this stuff, because what I found is I needed to get to a place where I justified the process to myself. If I've met that, I don't need to continue to barrel down. I can just, if it starts failing or if in a month I'm not seeing the results I want, you pivot. And I trust that my ability to pivot when things aren't working is still intact. So yeah, I think that's the vibes. I think the funny thing is it feels like I'm ending it early, but technically I've gone 45 minutes over what a normal hour would be. But yes, okay, what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to end the live stream here. And if you came in at 7, or rather the second hour of this, feel free to take this extra 15 minutes that I've given you, go back to the very beginning and watch my apartment get condemned. I have no idea when this is going to cut off. I'm always wrong about it, but I appreciate everyone who has stopped in today. Things are going to be great. C'est la vie. Also, Eric, Ashley, get excited. I'm happy for you guys going to the European Open. It's going to be so much fun. I'm rooting you guys on from the sidelines. Can't wait to see pictures of everyone at the event. But okay, anyways. I'm going to log off now. Goodbye, everyone. I appreciate you so much.